What if I told you that in the heart of Europe, during the 1930s, millions of people starved to death, not because of drought, not because of natural disaster, but because someone made it happen? This was not an accident of history. It was a deliberate act. The Holodomor, Stalin's man-made famine in Ukraine. But how could a government turn food into a weapon? And why did the world stay silent? Ukraine was known as the breadbasket of Europe. Its fertile black soil produced endless grain. But under Joseph Stalin's rule, this blessing became a curse. Grain was seized, quotas were impossible, and food that could have fed millions was instead taken away, leaving villages with nothing but empty fields and hungry stomachs. Stalin feared Ukraine's growing sense of identity and resistance to Soviet control. His solution: break the spirit of the people. Soviet agents confiscated not only grain, but also livestock, potatoes, and even the last hidden scraps of food. Families were left with bare floors and cupboards echoing with silence. By the winter of 1932, hunger had become a slow, torturous killer. Children collapsed in the streets. Mothers watched their families waste away. The famine was not just starvation. It was a calculated punishment. Entire villages were sealed off by armed guards, preventing anyone from escaping in search of bread. Some survivors whispered of eating grass, bark, even the leather from shoes. Others told stories too horrific to repeat. But outside Ukraine, the Soviet propaganda machine worked tirelessly, denying everything. Foreign journalists who dared to expose the truth were silenced, while Stalin continued his grip of terror. Between 3 to 5 million people perished in just 2 years. That's an entire nation's heartbeat extinguished in silence. Villages that once overflowed with laughter and harvest songs were reduced to ghostly emptiness. And here lies the haunting question: how could the world let this happen? Reports trickled out, but governments chose politics over truth, silence over outrage. The Holodomor became one of history's hidden genocides, buried beneath decades of denial. Today, Ukraine remembers. Monuments stand in quiet towns. Candles burn for the children who never grew old. The Holodomor is not just history. It is a warning, a reminder that food can be turned into a weapon, that silence can become complicity, and that millions of voices can vanish if we choose not to hear them. The Holodomor was not a famine. It was a crime, a man-made genocide that tried to erase a people through hunger. And yet, Ukraine endured. The memory of those who starved in silence cries out to us across generations. Never forget, never again.